How are you students? I hope you all are doing well, and today we are going to continue the same chapter, that is electricity. And we have done lots of topics till now, and since we have done lots of concepts, we can start with the numerical. So today we are going to do the numerical based on the resistance, resistivity, circuits, Ohm's law. All the concepts that we have understood till now will be applied in the numerical that we will be doing today. And doing numerical is very important in physics, because only then we come to know if we have understood the concept, and if you are lacking somewhere we can revise the concept and then we can do the numerical again. So numerical is a way to check our knowledge and understanding, and you can do the numerical, you can practice the numerical from any reference book you have. You can get the numerical from internet, lots of numerical are there, and you can practice. So it will give you proper understanding, it will give you proper concepts, and it will also help you to gain confidence in the subject. So let's start the class. So today we are going to do the numerical. So this will really help you to understand all the concepts in a proper way. So let's start now. So the very first numerical is given to you. You can read out: a conductor of length L is cut into 4 equal parts, and then these parts are connected in parallel to each other. If the resistance of length L was 100 ohm, find the equivalent resistance of the new combination. So the concept is, you have a particular length of conductor and the length is given L, and the resistance of this conductor is 100 ohm. Now we are dividing this one conductor into 4 equal parts, and now these 4 equal parts will be connected in parallel to each other. So each small part will work as a new resistor with particular resistance. So if these are connected in parallel, then overall now what will be the resistance in the combination or circuit, we can say. So very first, one thing is clear: since we are cutting the length L into 4 equal parts, so the resistance will also get divided into 4 equal parts equally, because we know resistance is proportional to length. So if we say that the small parts are having the resistance R1, R2, R3 and R4, then these 4 resistance must be equal, because we have divided them into equal length and resistance is proportional to the length. So since the overall resistance was 100, if you divide it into 4 equal parts, it will become 100 by 4, that is 25 ohm. So now each small part of the conductor is 25 ohm resistance, and now if we connect the 4 different small parts of resistance 25 ohm each in parallel, we know how to apply the formula for the parallel combination and how to find the resistance of the combination. So 1 by Rp will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4. So 1 by 25, 1 plus 1 by 25, 1 by 25, 1 by 25 will be added. That will get 4 upon 25. So overall reciprocal of 4 upon 25 will be 25 by 4, 6.25 ohm. So you can see we had the resistance of 100 ohm of one conductor. We converted the one conductor into four small parts, and then we connected them in parallel. Now the resistance has been reduced to 6.25 ohm. So you can see how we can change the resistance in a combination. So one thing is to be taken care: when we are cutting the conductor, then in this case only length is affected, other things are not affected. Means the area of the cross section is same, the temperature is also assumed to be same. That's why we just applied R is proportional to L, but in some case it is possible that along with the length the area can also be affected. So we'll do the numerical in a different way. We'll see, we'll have a numerical of this type also. So let's go to the next one. A conductor of length 2 meter has resistance 20 ohm. If the diameter of its cross section is 2 millimeter, find its resistivity. So now numerical based on the resistivity concept. So the length of the conductor is given 2 meter, and this conductor has the resistance of 20 meter, and the diameter of its cross section is 2 millimeter. So based on this information given to us, we have to find out how much is the resistivity of the conductor. One thing you have to remember, that when we talk about a conductor, we basically know the conductor is, or the wire we have, is in the form of cylinder. So the wire we take is in cylindrical form. So when we talk about the cross section area, so you know the area of the cross section area of the conductor or the wire will be nothing but the area of the circle, pi r square. So that is to be taken care when we have numerical based on the wire or conductor. So what is given to us? Resistance 20 ohm, length 2 meter, and diameter 2 millimeter. So that diameter must be converted into meter. So we know millimeter is how converted into meter, 10 to the power minus 3. So the final diameter is 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Now let's continue. So if we got the diameter, we can get the radius small r, that is divided by 2. So that will become 10 into power minus 3 meter only. So we got the radius. And now once we get the radius, we know how to find the area of the cross section. So area will be pi r square of the conductor, the cross section of the conductor, and applying the formula rho is equal to r a upon L. This is the formula we have done in the previous class. So r is the resistance 20 ohm, area is pi r square, pi, and r is 10 to the power minus 3, that will become whole square divided by 2. Solving it, we are getting 3.14 into 10 to the power minus 5 ohm meter. This is the SI unit of resistivity. So mathematics you must try yourself and must revise yourself. So I hope this is understood. So numerical based on the resistivity, you have to take care of the unit, you have to take care of the area, how to find the area, because students do mistake here. So be careful. So number 3, this will be quite lengthy but not so difficult. A conductor of length 10 meter and resistance 50 ohm is stretched so that its new length is 2 times of its previous length. Find the resistance of the new conductor. Now here students do one mistake, that they see like the conductor is of 10 meter and now it is becoming double once you stretch. So the length will become double, so resistance will also become double because R is proportional to L. So what they do, they will do 50 into 200 ohm. So this is to be taken care, that if you stretch the wire, you are not cutting the wire here. So when you stretch the wire, then it is understood, if the length will increase, then thickness must decrease, because the volume of the conductor has to be same. You are not adding anything. So same wire is stretched. So if the length will become 2 times, then somehow area of the cross section will also be affected. So very first we need to find out the relation of between the area of the first conductor and area of the second conductor, and then we go for the numerical. So students need to be careful when you are getting numerical of this type. So let's see one by one. So one side length L1, that is 10 meter, other side length L2 20 meter, because it is 2 times. R1 is given 50 ohm and we have to find R2, that is once we stretch the wire, what will be the new resistance. And let rho 1 be rho and rho 2 be rho. So let the resistivity be rho 1 and rho 2. So one thing again you need to take care, we have understood in the resistivity concept, that is resistivity will depend on the material and will depend on the conductor, that is temperature. So in this case the material is same, because the same conductor or the wire is stretched. So there is no change in material, and we are not talking about any change in the temperature also. So overall the resistivity should not be affected. So we have already done it, and again I'm reminding you that if we don't change the conductor, if we don't change the temperature, then in that case the resistivity will not be affected. So in this case resistivity will remain same, that is before stretching the wire and after stretching the wire the resistivity has to be taken same. So rho 1 and rho 2 will be rho only. Now let area of the cross section of first conductor is A1 and area of the cross section of second conductor be A2. And now let's apply the mathematics. First of all we have taken the wire is in the form of cylinder, and we know if we stretch the cylinder then length will be affected, area will be affected. Then what will happen? In this case one thing will remain same, that is volume. So volume of the cylinder will not change, or we can say the volume of the wire will not change. And we know the volume of the cylinder is pi r square h. That is, h is the length of the cylinder, which we have taken here L1 and L2. So pi r1 square L1 is the volume of the first cylinder, where r1 square is the radius of the cross section. Okay, then pi r2 square L2, where r2 is the radius of the second wire or second length, and L2 is the length. Okay, so overall the volume in the first case and the volume in the second case, they will be equal. And one thing we know, pi r square is nothing but area of cross section. So since pi r square is area of cross section, so in place of pi r1 square we can write down A1, and in place of pi r2 square we can write down A2. So finally we are getting equation A1 L1 is equal to A2 L2. L1 we know 10 meter, L2 we know 20. Solving it we are getting A2 is equal to A1 upon 2. So we can say the new area of the cross section is reduced to half of the previous. Now using the formula R1 rho L1 upon A1, that is formula of resistance we have done, that is R is equal to rho L upon A. So for first conductor is rho L1 upon A1, and for second conductor rho L2 upon A2. And if you divide this resistance R1 and R2, will get L1 into A2 divided by L2 upon A1, because resistivity is same, so that will be cancelled out. Now L1 we know is 10 meter, L2 we know 20 meter, and since we know A2 is half of A1, we have done the previous slide, so A1 will become twice of A2. So in place of A1 we can put twice of A2, and A2 will also be cancelled out, and finally we will get 1 upon 4. So R1 by R2 is 1 by 4, means R2 is 4 times R1, and hence R1 we know 50 ohm given to you, 50 into 4 200 ohm. So the resistance of the new conductor is 200, and you know the previous one was just 50. So you can see how the resistance will be affected if you stretch the wire, if you just make it double, because in this case area is also reduced, and we know if the area will be less, resistance will also increase, because R is inversely proportional to area, and length is also increased here, and we know more is the length, more will be the resistance. So here in this case area is reducing and length is increasing, and overall resistance will increase. So it's not just becoming double, it's becoming 4 times. So I hope this is understood. Next, question number 4. Now we'll do the numerical or problems based on the circuits, based on series and parallel combination. So let's see. So find the electric current in the following circuits. So circuits are given to you one by one, and in each case you have to find overall current in the circuit, that is main circuit. So number 1, Now you can see the circuit. There is a battery of 12 volt and 3 resistors are connected in the circuit of 2 kilo ohm each, and we have to find how much current will flow in the circuit. So very first, we know to find the electric current we need to find the overall resistance in the circuit, that is equivalent or net resistance, and for that we have to see if the resistance are in series or in parallel, solve it and get the answer. So that we are going to do now. So in this circuit, this is the very simple one. You can see all the 3 resistors are in series because they are connected along the same line next to next, and we know if they are connected in a series, then what is to be done, just need to add all the resistors. So we'll get the resistance now. So all 3 resistors are in series, so RS, that is RS is the equivalent resistance of the circuit. I'm taking S because it is for series combination. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 kilo ohm. So we got the overall resistance, and we know if we have resistance, the battery is also 12 volt. So using the equation of Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, that is I is equal to V upon R. What will get? V upon RS. So V is 12 given to us, RS is 6 kilo ohm. So depending on calculating this, 2 by 1000 ampere, that is 0.002 ampere. So you should remember the resistance is given here in kilo ohm, that's why 1000 is coming here. So only 0.002 ampere current will flow in the circuit, that is very less current. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Number 2, now this is somehow combination of a series and parallel both. So very first we need to see what can be done very first in a given circuit. So in this circuit you can see that is R1 and R2, they are in parallel because both of them have common terminals one side and one side. So this R1 and R2 are in series, in parallel. So we need to solve this very first, and then whatever resistance will come, that will see with the R3. So here we have to go stepwise. So very first we need to solve R1 and R2 since they are in parallel, and let's the equivalent resistance of this R1 and R2 only is RP1, just a name is given. So we know the formula for parallel combination, 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So since we have taken RP1, so let it be 1 by RP1 is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2, and solving it you will get 1 by 4. You apply any method that you know, mathematics, finally you will get 1 by 4. So we can say RP1 will be 4 by 1, that is 4 ohm. So the equivalent resistance of R1 and R2 is 4, means in place of 12 and 6 in parallel, we can connect one resistor in the circuit, that is of 4 ohm. Now overall this 4 ohm will come in the series with the R3 because now they are connected along the same line. So we can say RP1, which is the equivalent of R1 and R2, is in series with the R3, that is 4. So we know if resistance are in series, then we need to add the resistance together, we get the equivalent resistance. So hence the net resistance will be RP1 plus R3, that is 4 plus 4, 8 ohm. And once you got the net resistance, we know how to find the current, V upon R. So V is 50 given here, and equivalent resistance R is coming in the circuit is 8 ohm. So dividing 50 by 8, we are getting 6.25 ampere. So this much current will flow in the circuit, in the main circuit. One more thing can be done, like once you do the circuit, solve the circuit, we can also show the next circuit. So I have not shown here, but it can be done. That is, after solving R1 and R2, the new circuit, that is modified one, then again third circuit after calculating all the resistance. So I hope it is clear. Number third circuit, a different one. So you can see there are 3 different resistors, R1, R2 and R3. The values are given 100 ohm, 300 ohm and 50 ohm. Battery is connected 9 volt, and the different thing is here, a jumper wire is connected across R1. Now this is totally different concept. So very first, one thing we need to understand here before we do this circuit, so you can read out the note. If resistors are connected in parallel, then the maximum current will flow through the resistor which has minimum resistance, as I is proportional to 1 by R. Now let's understand this concept. We know if the resistances are or the resistors are connected in parallel, then the current get distributed. Means the current in the main circuit will get divided into different resistances which are in parallel. Now in which resistance the current will be maximum or minimum, means through which resistance the current will flow how much, that totally depends on the resistance only, because we know from Ohm's law V is equal to IR and I is equal to V upon R, means I is inversely proportional to the resistance. So the resistance which is less will allow maximum current to flow. So we can say if the resistors are connected in parallel, then the one resistor who is having minimum resistance will have maximum current, and the one which has maximum resistance will have minimum current. But in this case, if we see, the jumper wire is connected in parallel to the R2. So since jumper wire is connected parallel to the R2, that is 300, now after crossing the R1, the current will get distributed. Now how the distribution will take place, that we need to see. So one thing you should remember when you talk about jumper wire or connecting wire, that is copper wire in general, that wire has negligible resistance. So we believe that the resistance is very less or almost negligible. And if the resistance is almost negligible, the entire current will flow through the wire. So we can say since R2 is 300 ohm and jumper wire has no resistance, so the current will not flow through 300, it will totally pass through the jumper wire. This is to be understood, and this concept is also called sorting. So we can say here we have sorted the resistance R2, which across R2, once we connect the wire, then the entire current will flow through the wire and current will not flow through R2, and hence we can modify the circuit. So you can see the next circuit, since the current will not flow through R2, so we can say R2 is not a part of the circuit, we can remove it. And now once we remove, now you can see the circuit is totally modified. So now you can see R1 and R3 only resistors are there, that is connected with the help of jumper wire. And the concept is, since R1 and R2 they are along the same line, what will happen, the resistors will get added in series. So total is R1 plus R3, that is 100 plus 50, 150 ohm is the only resistance in the circuit, and R2 is not added here, and hence current we know V upon R, 9 upon 150, that is 0.06 ampere. So this is totally different kind of circuit equation or numerical. So remember that if anything is connected directly with the wire, then that will not be a part of the circuit, we can say. So that is called sorting the components. Number 4, again you can see R1, R2, R3, R4, there are 4 resistors connected in the circuit with a battery of 10 volt. Again we need to see which are in series and which are in parallel. So very first, it is understood, we can see R2 and R3 are in parallel here, because both of them have common terminal one side. So very first, whatever you see the resistance which are in series or parallel, very first you solve them and then you go for the next step without affecting the circuit in other way. Okay, so we can say R2 and R3, since they are in parallel, so we need to solve them very first. So let Rp1 be their equivalent resistance, that is Rp1 is the resistance of combination of this R2 and R3, and we know the equation 1 by Rp1 will be 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Solving it, we are getting 8 by 150. So Rp1 will become 150 by 8, that is 18.75. So R2 and R3 can be replaced by one resistor of 18.75. Now once you replace it by one resistor, what will happen, R1, R4 and the equivalent resistance of R2 and R3 will come in same path along the same line. They will become in series. So R1, RP1 and R4 will be in series, and we know how to find the current in the resistance in the series combination. Just add it. So adding all the three will get 58.75 resistance ohm. And next we know I is equal to V upon R. So Rs is 58.75 and voltage is 10, dividing you'll get 0.17 ampere. That will flow in the main circuit. So you need to practice the circuit so that you can find out the series and parallel. This is another type of numerical. So this circuit is given to you, but one thing is given here, that points P and point Q are at the same potential. This is given to you. So with the circuit this is given, and based on this we have to find out how much current will flow in the main circuit. So one thing we know, that if two different points will be at same potential, means there is no potential difference. So we know if the potential difference will not be there, then current cannot flow between these 2 points, because for the current we need the flow of charge, and the charges can flow if there is a potential difference, that we understood somewhere. So since current will not flow through between P and Q, so we can say in this case no current will flow through R2. I hope it is clear. Since between P and Q R2 is connected, so since these 2 points P and Q are at same potential, no current will flow through R2, so R2 can be removed. So since P and Q are at the same potential, no current will flow through R2, and hence R2 is to be removed, and then we get the modified circuit. So you can see now the circuit has been changed totally, and now we know R1 and R5, they are along the same line, same path, so they are in series. Another side you can see R4 and R3, again they are coming along same line, so they are in series. So R1 and R5 are in series with each other, and R4 and R3 are in series with each other, and once you solve these two series, they will come in parallel with each other. This is understood. So let Rs1 be the equivalent of R1 and R5, that is 3 ohm, 1 plus 2, and let Rs2 be the equivalent of R4 and R3, that is 6, 4 plus 2, 6. And since one side and other side series are in parallel with each other, so we can say Rs1 and Rs2 will be in parallel with each other, and we know the equation. 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by Rs1 plus 1 by Rs2. So where Rp is the equivalent resistance of the circuit, solving it will get 1 by 2. So Rp will be 2 by 1, that is 2 ohm, and we know how to find the current. V upon Rp, V is 4 volt and Rp is 4 by 2, 2 ampere. Current will flow in the main circuit. So this is how the circuit is to be solved. So very first we need to see which are in series, which are in parallel. That can be done first, and then we go for the next step. And side by side you can also show the circuit for each step. Let's move to the next one. Not next, but I think it is done. And based on the understanding of the circuits today, if you can try just one circuit yourself. So one circuit is given to you. You can see how many resistors are there. 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that is connected with the battery of 120 volt. And in this circuit, how much current will flow through the main circuit, you need to solve it. So I hope based on the things we have done till now, you can try that. Still, if you have any doubt, we can discuss in the live session, not to worry, and we'll try more and more circuits equation. So solving circuit is very important in class 10th, and we need to understand the circuit, how to solve it, and how to find out series and parallel combination. So for today class is done. We'll continue this topic or the chapter, we can say, next day, and let's see
what else can be done based on this circuit equation and circuit problem. So take care and thank you. Hari Om.